Hello everyone. So we will move to the next part of the fourth module, that is in the output analysis we are dealing with measures of performance and their estimations. So there are two types of estimations based on the output performance. So they are based on the point estimation and also on the interval estimation. So point estimation is nothing but at some particular point of time. Interval estimation means there will be some interval given where it will be having the starting time and the ending time, and through that time we are going to measure the performance at that part of the interval. So here first moving to the point estimation. Measure of performance and their estimations. Consider a set of output values for the same measure. That is, example, delays of n different runs or waiting times of n different runs. So we have to take only one measuring parameter. Example, we can take either the delays or we can take the waiting times of the n different runs. So more than one runs we have to perform, and we have to consider those output values as a measure of for one parameter, and then we want to have a point estimate to approximate the true value of, and an interval estimate to outline the range where the true value lies. So first moving to the point estimation. The point estimator of based on the data is defined by theta cap. That is, we have seen that output analysis we are going to take theta cap as our reference value. So theta cap will be equals to 1 by n sigma I equals to 1 to n yi. So here n is nothing but the total number of runs which we are considering, and what are the values we are getting, like what are the output values for n different runs. So that will be considered here, and we are going to divide it by the total number of runs which we are considering. Then we will be getting the total output analysis. The point estimator is said to be unbiased for if E of theta cap will be equals to theta. In general, E of theta cap will be equal to theta plus b if there is a drifting or bias. So here we can see that if there is some drifting, or if there is any lagging or leading of the values which we have got, plus this b value is a bias value, so then we have to tell that it is biased. If it is not having any of the b value, if b value will be equals to 0, then E of theta cap should be equals to theta. So this point estimator is said to be unbiased. So it doesn't have any bias value or any drifting value. Measures of performance. So here for the continuous data, the point estimator of based on data where is the simulation run length is defined by simulation length means we are considering the time here. So time will be taken as TE, where TE means where actually the event is going to end. So that value theta phi cap, this is phi which measures the simulation run length. Phi cap will be equals to 1 by TE. So integration of 0 to TE y of t dt, and is called a time average of yt over that is yt means is nothing but when actually we are getting the output at some particular time t. In general, E of phi cap will be equals to phi plus b. So here again b is nothing but the bias value if we consider it, if there is some drifting or bias in the output which we are going to consider. If b is equals to 0, then phi is said to be unbiased for phi cap. Once a performance measure of these estimators, point or interval, is a quantile or a percentile. Quantiles describe the level of performance that can be delivered with a given probability. So assume y represents the delay in Q a customer experiences, then the 0.85 quantile or 85% percentile of y is the value gamma such that P will be y, this is nothing but the output. Probability of y less than or equals to gamma will be equals to P 0.85. So we consider this as a delay in the waiting line or in the waiting queue if we consider a single channel queue as our example for the output analysis. So that was about the point estimation. Now next we will go for the interval estimation, how we are going to do if we are considering some interval, that is for our starting point and the ending point. We have to consider valid interval estimation typically requires a method of estimating the variance of the point estimator, uh, theta cap or phi cap. So theta cap is nothing but the where actually the interval lies, and phi cap is nothing but the what is the time interval we are considering. Let sigma square of theta cap will be equals to variance of theta cap. So this is the variance which we are considering, represent the two true variance of a point estimator theta cap, and let sigma square of theta cap represent an estimator of sigma square of theta cap based on the data y equals to yi equals to if I value we are considering it as 1 till n. So first we have to consider theta cap and phi cap for point estimators, whereas sigma square of theta cap and sigma square of phi cap as for our interval estimation. Suppose that E of sigma square of phi cap will be equals to B sigma square of phi cap, where B is called the bias in the variance estimator. So same as we have taken in the point estimation. So there small b was considered as a bias value. Here we are considering capital B as a bias value. It is desirable to have B equals to 1, in which case sigma square of theta is called as the unbiased estimator. So there we have to consider it as 0 because we have taken the addition. Here we are taking the multiplication, so we have to consider the minimum value for b will be equals to 1 if we want the value, exact value. So if we get the exact value, then we tell that it is an unbiased estimator of variance sigma square of phi cap. If it is an unbiased estimator, the statistic T equals to theta cap minus theta divided by sigma cap of theta cap will be approximately the T distribution with some degree f of freedom. An approximate 100 of 1 minus alpha percentage confidence interval for theta is given by this equation. So here theta, it should be lying in between theta cap minus T alpha by 2 comma f, and phi cap of sigma cap of theta cap, and also it should lie in plus theta cap plus T alpha by 2 comma f sigma cap of theta cap. So theta, it should lie in between these two values, minus value and the plus value. This relation involves three parameters. What are the three parameters? Means estimator for mean, estimator for variance, and the degree of freedom. How to determine these values? So we will see how to determine these values. Estimator for mean is calculated. First here three parameters we have to consider: estimator for mean, estimator for variance, and the degree of freedom. So estimator for mean is calculated as above as a point estimator. Theta cap will be equals to, in this equation we have seen here, here in this we get 1 by n of sigma of I equals to 1 to n yi. So this is the mean value which we are calculating. So next, estimator of the variance and for the degree of freedom has to consider two separate cases. That is, first case, if yi's are statistically independent observations, then use s square will be equals to sigma I equals to 1 to n yi minus theta cap square divided by n minus 1. So to calculate this variance, we need a sigma square of theta cap will be equals to s square divided by n. With the degree of freedom, f is equals to n minus 1 we have considered here. If yi's are not statistically independent, then the above estimator for variance is biased. Y's is an autocorrelated sequence, sometimes called a time series. In this case, we have to calculate it as a variance here, and also we have to consider it as a covariance. The relation will be measured in terms of the variance and the covariance here. So sigma square theta cap will be equals to variance of theta cap 1 by n square summation of I equals to 1 to n summation of j equals to 1 to n, and covariance of yi comma yj we will be getting when y's are not statistically independent. When y's are statistically independent, we get these values if with the degree of freedom as f is equals to n minus 1. That is, one needs to calculate covariance for every possible pair of observations. So for intervals, we are considering the intervals and we have to calculate the observations based on the pairing